So good evening, everyone, and welcome to Get Into Teaching webinar series. This is the first webinar of the series. There will be 9 more webinars coming up this month, which will be presented by my colleagues on different secondary specialist subjects. So today's seminar or webinar is on a chemistry PGDE course. So I'm Dr. Saima Salehjee. I'm lecturer in education, and I am one of the 2 chemistry tutors for the PGDE chemistry course. And today I'm joined by Emma Johnston, who is our student admissions officer. And Emma and her team deals with all your applications, starting from the application until you get interviewed and get selected. You can contact us on haspginquiries@strat.ac.uk, and the email address is here. So the agenda for today is that I'm going to talk through the slides for around 20-25, max 25 minutes. And then we will give you an opportunity to ask questions. Now you can type in your questions using the Q&A tab, which is right at the bottom of your screen. You can ask questions while I'm presenting, or you can ask questions later on after my presentation. In both cases, we will be answering your questions after the presentation. Starting with a brief history of the School of Education. So the University of Strathclyde started training teachers in 1837 and was founded by David Stowe at the Dundasville Normal Seminary. Then in 1913, it moved to purpose-built campus at Jordan Hill in the west of Scotland, or west of Glasgow. In 1993, became a faculty of Strathclyde. Later on moved to the city center campus as the School of Education. Now, currently we have 101 academic staff, and majority of them, they are one way or other helping student teachers or supporting student teachers in their journey of becoming independent and effective teachers. We have alumni all over the world, and this is mainly because our qualification is recognized all over the world. And we have been very effective in league tables. One of them recently, we have been ranked 6th in the UK, in the UK's 2020 Complete University Guide. Now moving on to teaching journey. So before you start the journey, it starts with undergraduate degree, which you must have completed before you join PGDE. Now, when you join PGDE, it's around 10 months course. And then by the end of this course, after 10 months, you'll get a provisional registration, GTCS provisional registration. Later on, you can go for full registration, which is for a year. Now, in the full registration period, you can either go for teacher induction scheme, in which GTCS has promised that they will allocate you in one of the schools to complete your 1 year for full registration. Or you can go for a flexible route in which you find your own job in whichever country you like, and then you complete a full registration. Now, what a PGDE course looks like, a brief overview. So it is around 36-week course, out of which 18 weeks are on campus with us and 18 weeks on school placement. Now, I really want to emphasize here regarding school placement is that how you are placed in a particular school. So it starts with your location, it starts with your travel distance. So for example, you are living in Glasgow and the postcode is G4OLT. So from that postcode till your school, it should be 90 minutes travel, within 90 minutes, should not be more than 90 minutes. each side. So this is how schools, you are placed in schools. We are being accredited by the General Teaching Council for Scotland. And you also have the opportunity to gain 120 credits at master's level, which you can use later on if you want to do master's. Overall course structure, that we have 3 big modules. Okay, so the first one is education studies, professional values, in which you are mainly dealing with education policies and practice, social justice, diversity, inclusion, equity, these kind of broader educational issues and problems and solutions. You have an assignment, a written assignment for it. By the end, normally in January time, you submit your assignments. Then you have professional learning through inquiry, which is very unique and very important, in which what you do is that you bring in theory and practice in your own practice. And for example, your school where you're placed would like more female students in science. So you figure out, you inquire about it, what they're doing, whether they are successful or not, what are the strategies they're doing, why in the first place, female or women or girls in schools are not doing science. So all these type of inquiry based issues, you will be working on that. It also has an assignment, a written assignment, which is sometime due in this month. Then the bigger one is the professional skills. It has the most credits. And professional skills is divided into 2, curriculum and pedagogy. This is where myself and the other chemistry tutor comes in. So it's mainly to do with chemistry curriculum and how you're going to teach this chemistry curriculum in the schools. And the second part is professional practice, which is actually your school placement. And so these 2, curriculum and pedagogy and professional practice, goes hand by hand. You cannot separate each other. So it's about the science curriculum and how you're going to teach it. And that's done on campus, and then you practice it in schools. The course content, a brief overview of the content is that we aim to cover units of work and topics ranging from broad general education, which is PGDE, science, to senior phase chemistry, if you're applying for a chemistry post. Now, what I mean by units of work is that when you have a science syllabus, science curriculum, and then they have a wider units, for example, nature's chemistry. And within the nature's chemistry, there are different topics, example, alkanes, alkenes, cracking, and all of these under the unit of work of fuels for chemistry, okay? Then we also try to embed pedagogical themes in all the sessions. For example, a theme can be scientific literacy, themes can be inquiry-based learning, themes can be problem solving, questioning. So all these themes, we ensure that all these themes, pedagogical themes, are embedded in all the sessions. We offer a mixture of laboratory-based practices, group and independent learning opportunities. We have a very nice lab, which can accommodate around 22 people at one time. It's in the Royal College. We offer opportunities to expand your exploration, learning and networking with science teachers by allowing you to attend conferences, workshops, and meeting science educators. Yeah, coming to the placement schools, you will be placed in 2 different schools. The school A will be 8 weeks, starting from August till December, before Christmas. And then school B is for 10 weeks, which starts from this time, like February time, until around April. And they're two different schools. Now, in terms of assessment, you see the three main points. The first one is placement experience, your experience in schools. Includes assessment is made in partnership with schools, but it all aligns with the provisional registration, GTCS registration. We do have external examiners for quality assurance, and you will be asked to prepare professional practice planning file, which is composed of all the evidence of your teaching. Assessment of other modules include a variety of approaches to PGDE or master's level assignment, for example, presentation, essay, academic poster. Good news is that there are no exams, but there are written assignments, essays, or posters. The third part of assessment is coursework and attendance. So you can choose to submit assignments at level 10, which is diploma level, or level 11, which is master's level. You can achieve 120 credits in either or a mix of diploma and master's, which will lead to the award of PGDE. We do offer dual registration as well. So for example, you can do chemistry with biology. So some of the options are chemistry with biology, chemistry with physics, chemistry with maths, and in very rare cases, chemistry with technology as well. Entry requirements. So the entry requirements for PGDE course are based on the requirements set by GTCS. The first one is that you should have a higher education institution validated degree, which is validated by UK. If you are from outside of UK, if you're international student, then it needs to be recognized by the UK and it needs to be checked by the admissions. The degree must contain at least 80 credits relevant to chemistry, which is very important here. So if you're applying for chemistry as your first option, then it should be 80 credits. You should have higher English, grade C or above, National 5 Maths or similar, grade C or above. You should be able to show some evidence of experience working with children in primary or secondary schools or related context. For example, if you have been a STEM ambassador, if you have been working as a voluntarily basis in a community center, all these experiences with children will be taken into account. You should have an understanding of modern education. Modern word here doesn't only mean virtual education, that you're able to use virtual teaching. It actually means away from traditional style of teaching, and an ability to relate people. So we are actually looking for a lot of communication skills, that whether you are able to communicate with people or not, through applications and through interviews, we will be looking through all of these attributes. Application process, straightforward. So you apply via UCAS if you are from Scotland, if you are EU or from the rest of the UK. But if you're an international student, then you apply via Pegasus. Document support. You should send your documents within 21 days of submitting your application to this address, which is haspgde.support@strath.ac.uk. If you're a suitable candidate in terms of your documents and your application, then you will be invited for an online interview. This online interview will be conducted by myself, and we have another tutor, Dr. Jane Essex. She will be conducting the interviews. We also have a support staff who are actually teachers teaching in schools, and they also come and interview with us. Then finally, after the interview, there will be decisions. So the decision can be that you're successful with any condition, or you can be successful unconditionally, and we'll say straight away, come and study with us in August. Or you could be unsuccessful at this particular point. In all of these situations, successful, conditional, unconditional, successful, we are happy to give you feedback if you need. Fees and funding. Now, with the Scottish students, most probably you'll be able to go for STEM funding, but you need to check the funding requirements using this web link. For international, EU, and rest of the UK, tuition fees has not been confirmed yet. You can find out further about it using this link. So keep checking this link for tuition fees if you are outside of Scotland. Again, for international, EU, and rest of the UK, you have scholarship schemes available as well, which you can find out from this link. I believe so. This is my last slide here. So questions, you can find helpful information on course webpage and in the PGDE frequently asked questions. So this is our web page, which takes you straight to the chemistry site, where you find out all about the curriculum, all about the timings and everything that we have talked about in a bit more detail. You can also go for frequently asked questions for general inquiries. Still, if you need to get in touch, you can email admissions. You can speak to an admissions officer on live chat and see the relevant course page for details. So if you can see these course pages, you will find it. Right, and that's it. So I'm going to stop sharing. Let's see if you have any questions yet. Not yet. So please post in your questions in the chat box. I'm sure there will be questions. Hi, Emma.
Hi there. So yeah, if anyone's got any questions, there's a wee Q&A box just down at the bottom of the screen. So please feel free just to type in any questions and we'll hopefully be able to answer. So we are still open for chemistry. So as the slides show, you can apply through UCAS for home students, and then you just send your documents in to us so we can review your applications. Any questions at all? You must have covered everything.
Right, maybe I can talk a bit more about the chemistry course. If someone is interested, just say yes or no.
No, I think that would be helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Thank you very much. So chemistry course is very interesting. This year was very interesting in terms of because of coronavirus. We didn't had enough opportunity to go into the labs, but we have a very nice lab here from the last 3 to 4 years. I'm teaching here in Royal College, and so it starts with, for example, I'm teaching fuels chemistry, and then we talk about methods of teaching. So one thing very important, guys, that you have to be you should know your content knowledge. And I understand, we all understand that you might have done chemistry ages ago in school. So you have to upgrade your chemistry knowledge, and you can do that by going through any textbook. You know, the textbook keeps on changing, or you can go to these websites. It's I'm just typing in, it's Royal Society of Chemistry, Association of Science. Sorry, the association spelling is wrong. So Association of Science. So these are really nice websites where you find not only the content knowledge, but how to teach science in schools. So first is the curriculum knowledge, and you keep upgrading it. Then comes this was the content knowledge. Then comes the curriculum knowledge. Now, in terms of curriculum knowledge, I would really recommend if you go through the SQA website. Okay, if you go through the SQA website, you see the science curriculum, you check out the BGE science, and then you check the national 5. Okay, so you will see a progression there from BGE to national 5. It's nice that you have the curriculum in front of you, and then, for example, is materials section, and they have some objectives. You go through those objectives and say, do I know the content knowledge of it? Do I need a quick recap about it? So for recapping, again, you go to Royal Society of Chemistry, you go to Association of Science, even BBC Bite Size, they have nice stuff there as well. People go for Khan's Academy as well. So you go for the content knowledge and curriculum knowledge. So what I'm trying to tell you is that you link the content with the curriculum. And when you come to us, then you will have a good knowledge of curriculum as well as of the content. And when we are teaching you how to teach it in the classroom, you will be able to do it very easily. So this is one thing. Second thing is that we are very much on themes, on theories, but we are not only teaching theories, but how you are going to implement theories in the classroom. For example, a very nice one for BGE especially is teaching science through stories or storybooks. Now, theoretically, it comes under inquiry-based learning, but how you're going to use that inquiry-based learning approach of having storybooks or literacy part of it and bringing in the classroom, this is what we need to see. This is what we need to see when we come to visit you. Now, in the 2 schools that you will be placed, in the first school, we will visit you once, and the second school, we will visit you twice. So people call it crit, but we don't like the word crit visit. We call it lesson observation, in which we come and we observe. So what we're observing is that you have a good content knowledge of chemistry, you have good curriculum knowledge, and then you're exceeding in terms of teaching. So you are pedagogically getting better as well. So theory into practice. So these are the things. And of course, no one comes with all the information, everything. And you have 3 options to go through. So first one, if, for example, you were successful most of them, but not successful 1 or 2, that's fine, because you have more chances. So you have 3 in total, 3 chances. And then these 3 chances are not only chances. So we also look at the overall, that how you're doing in school. We talk to your mentors, we talk to your school class teachers, and we check your file. So it's an overall thing. So there's nothing to do with, oh, I didn't do well in one of the lesson observations, so I'm failed. It's nothing like that. So it's a 10 weeks program, and by the end of 10 weeks, we all sit together and see all the evidence. And then we say whether whether it's satisfactory or not. Now I'm talking a lot. I'm stopping again for questions. Any comments, suggestions? Right, I think I should keep talking, Emma.
That's fine. No, it's all very helpful.
Right. When I'm talking about the lesson observation when we come to visit you, so this is actually, we are preparing you for the standards. And what standards I'm talking about, I have a copy of it here. I don't know whether you can see it. Is the other way around maybe, but I'll just go through it. So it's about professional values and personal commitment. So these are GTCS standards which you are working towards. So we look at that. We look at professional knowledge and understanding, in which we talk about curriculum, we talk about education systems, we talk about pedagogical theories that we were just talking about. So pedagogical theories and practice. So how you're taking the theories, educational theories, and how you're delivering it, how you're performing it. And the third main one is professional skills and abilities, which includes a lot of things. For example, teaching and learning, classroom organization management, pupil assessment, and professional reflection communication. So all these things we are looking at, and there are standards and there are substandards which you can find on the GTCS pre-registration page. Emma, is there anything else that you think I should talk about?
No, I think you've covered quite a lot. We have a question. So thank you for the information, really helpful. How much chemistry teaching do we get on the course? And that's from Kim.
How much chemistry teaching is mainly because you're going for chemistry, so it will be chemistry. However, at the same time, you will be asked to teach in schools biology and physics as well at the PGE level. So the majority teaching should be chemistry, but then it depends on the school. For example, if they're doing BGE at the moment, BGE biology, so you might not be able to do a lot of chemistry in your first placement, and you'll be teaching a bit more of biology and a bit of chemistry as well. But slowly, as you progress to the second and third placements, much more of chemistry than the other subjects. So again, a very good question, because it means that you need to revise your biology and physics bits as well in terms of the knowledge. And we do offer BGE sessions here at Strathclyde. So for example, I will be doing BGE sections for chemistry. We have Paul Chambers and Murad Findlay. She will be doing physics, BGE teaching, and we have Debbie McLeod for biology. So this is how we separate it, but you will be given opportunity to do biology and physics here as well.
Lovely, thank you. So we've got another question. If anyone do the PGCE after an MSc in Education Studies, does the course duration remain the same?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it will. Even people come with PhD, they do the same course throughout.
Okay, lovely. So if anyone's got any further questions, just pop them in. And if nobody does, then I think we could wrap it up. But if anyone's got any further questions, just pop them in the wee Q&A box at the bottom. Okay, nope, nothing else.
Yeah.
Must have covered everything. Nope, I think that's us. So thank you everyone for joining us. I hope you find it all very useful. Again, we've got drop-in sessions, you've got our email addresses, so just drop us an email if you've got any further questions to follow up with. But I think we'll just call it a night, and thank you very much everyone for taking part.
Thank you. Have a nice
Thank
evening.
you.